Michigan Magazine is kept on the road by our many Michigan friends. Thunder Bay Resort, a destination for all seasons with special events and packages. Thunder Bay Resort in Hillman. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. The Michigan-made rebounding mailbox pole. Never again worry about the winter snowplow taking out your mailbox with this ingenious rebounding pole. Your mailbox takes a hit and keeps coming back year after year. Call now or visit their website, toughmailboxes.com. Remembering good times and great food, Frank and Lisa invite you to Tin Lizzie's in Mile for a blast back to the 50s and 60s when food was made from scratch, including home-ground Angus burgers. A full menu of great food and good memories await you at the new Tin Lizzie's of Mayo. On this edition of Michigan Magazine, we're heading to the northwestern area of Michigan's Lower Peninsula, into historic Petoskey, where we meet with bead master Native American Dan Chingwa. Dan demonstrates the incredible art of beadery that was handed down to him by his grandmother, whose talent inspired him to continue this family tradition. Then we head to one of our favorite spots on Earth, Cops and Donuts in downtown Clare, to visit with fellow explorers of the RFD television network, Rodney Miller and Jan Carl of Small Town Big Deal. They stopped by last year to see what all the fuss and hoopla was about concerning this little hometown bakery, and to lend their hand in feeding the masses that visits this one-of-a-kind bakery every day. Then stay tuned for this week's Phrase of the Day. That'll get you into the drawing for a family getaway at a wonderful Michigan resort. It's all coming up on this edition of Michigan Magazine.
Program support provided by Thunder Bay Resort, offering a winter getaway where sleigh bells echo through dense hardwood forests. Guests can experience a search for the majestic and elusive elk viewed from horse-drawn sleighs. Then return to a welcomed fire, gourmet dinner, and tales of the day shared over a glass of wine from nearby Stony Acres Winery. USA Today calls the sleigh ride at Thunder Bay Resort one of 10 great places to ride into a Currier and Ives. Located in Hillman on Michigan's Sunrise Side.
Vacation. Don't make the planning of it more than what you're trying to get away from. At northernmichigancabinrentals.com, you can choose from over 2,500 cabins, cottages, lodges, resorts, lakefront vacation home rentals, and more. Whatever experience you're looking for, from rustic to luxury and everything in between. No more rustling with telephone books. No more endless internet searches. Just one site with over 2,500 Northern Michigan destinations. northernmichigancabinrentals.com.
In our recent visit to the Little Traverse Historical Museum on the waterfront in Petoskey, we were introduced to the incredible Native American beadwork of Dan Chingwa. Dan's beadwork is known throughout the state for its detail and beauty. As we talked with Dan, he told us of the wonderful encouragement and dedication for perpetuating Native American arts he was shown by the family members.
It started out with my Aunt Mary back when I was 8 years old. My Aunt Mary said, "Come down, do beadwork with me in the park, and I will pay you 65 cents an hour." And I said, being a young kid of 8 years old, I said, 65 cents an hour is great. So I went down and worked with my Aunt Mary, and for lunch she says, "You can have anything you want for lunch." I said, "A hamburger, french fries, burgers?" She spoiled the heck out of me. This lady not only spoiled the heck out of me, but she gave me a tradition that is documented in books.
What's this here? Title, listen here.
Beads and Textiles of the Ottawa. And if you turn to page 41 up in the corner, this is beadwork from my Aunt Mary. This is our family design. Only my family of Native American beadworkers does this design. Nobody else does it because they know it's my family design.
So every family has their own design?
Yes.
For the most part?
For the most part. This is documented that it is my family.
If they're out someplace and they see a craft show or they see something that maybe you're at a museum or something like we are here, they know it's your work. Every family knows.
They know it's my design, my family.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, continue.
She was a wonderful person. One morning she woke up and she told me, it came to me overnight. One time I realized I wanted to do the Last Supper in beads. So 3 years later, after trial and error, she made the Last Supper in beads. It took her 3.5 years to do. The Last Supper is 11.5 feet by 5.5 feet. The beadwork weighs 43 pounds, 5 ounces. There are 1,788,761 beads and 121 different shades of beads. There's 10.5 miles of nylon thread used to make the Last Supper. It was started in January 1966 and finished in March of 1986. Her beads were made from Europe that she used for the Last Supper. If you want to make if you want to make a traditional piece of beadwork, you would have to go out and find bones that's from deer or whatever and carve them. But this is what we're using here is the European beads. The finest beads that were made were in Czechoslovakia before World War I. And that is what she used on the Last Supper in beads. And this is really relaxing work. A lot of people...
Good therapy, like golfing this to some guys, and all this to you is good.
Just like quill work or any other form of art, it's very relaxing. Now you see my pattern that I first started out with was just little daisies. But to put the center in there, you pick up 2 and a center bead for the yellow. Let's use something a little darker so people can see what's going on here. We'll use a yellow, yellow, and a blue. And instead of coming back down through, we come through the very middle of it. See how we come through the middle of that bead?
Yeah.
And give that a pull.
Good gosh.
That adds on to the other side. This is called the daisy chain, and I've never seen it documented anywhere. So anybody watching this program can do this themselves and have a blast doing daisy. They're addictive. Once you get started doing them, now you come back through the top of the middle bead, through the middle of this bead here, the split bead, and pull that through. That pops right into place. And now, in order to get this thread up and so you can get your last 2 beads on, you come up through the side daisy here. Now, to add on the last 2 little daisies, daisy petals.
My goodness.
Picking them up, putting them through. And give it a pull. And I've never seen it documented anywhere. Just think, over in Grand Traverse, they want me to come over and teach your kids how to do this.
Well, that would be
And after a while, you'll see who can catch on. You can tell who's going to be
agile enough to do
who's going to be the bead workers and who's going to fall out. It takes a certain person to just relax and line up the holes right, push the needle through. Now you notice I don't use a thimble because I have a permanent callus here. It's a permanent callus, and I don't need a thimble.
I can see why.
I've pushed that needle through so many times that I've formed a callus there, and I don't need a thimble because I do so much beadwork.
The Native American beadwork, porcupine quill work, whatever, does it tell a story?
Oh yeah, there's quite a few of them that tell stories. This little bracelet here actually tells 2 stories. There's the 5 colors of man: the yellow man, the brown man, the black man, the red man, and the white man. Then it tells the colors of the rainbow, from red to indigo and back to red. Now here's the clincher. This tells the 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall, and back to winter.
Isn't that?
All in one little bracelet. And it's a story that the kids can relate to because they live the 4 seasons up here all the time. And because our world is so diverse now, where you see all the colors of the rainbow of man, the 5 colors of man, that's where that one fits into. What this is called here is loom work. And all you do is follow the pattern. Right now, here's the pattern that I'm following. 1 black, 5 white. The fun thing about a loom is you can make it 3 bead wide, 2 bead wide, is the smallest you can go with that.
Okay.
And then you can go to the extreme like my Aunt Mary did and do it 5.5 feet.
Right.
You know.
That was something. That's quite a piece. And the way you're doing this is these last for, well, some of the beadwork in there lasts for 100 years or more.
And I do guarantee my beadwork. If it ever breaks or needs repair, all you have to do is mail it to me. I'll fix it and get it back to you. You see, is what the thread did here, along with the beads, is it's put the thread underneath it. So it pushes up against this loom thread.
Okay.
There's that on that side. Then coming down through the top, you push the needle all the way through. And the thing you tell if it's done right, you will see a silver needle all the way through this beadwork.
Okay.
And then once you have that silver through all those, you give it a pull, and this will lock those in place.
Okay. Now what's this particular piece that you're working on, what's it called?
This is called the dragon.
The dragon, just plain dragon.
The dragon,
okay.
Yep.
And this will be a hand bracelet like you've got right here.
Yep.
Can you show the folks that right there? That's what the finished product will look like right there. The finished art piece. Your Indian name, your given name.
My Native American name is Niganashke, which means the one who shines the brightest, which leads us right into this picture.
Hey!
This is the picture of Niganashke, the one who shines the brightest, which is the sun. As the sun sets into Lake Superior, the family of loons thanks them for another wonderful day of service. The 4 Thunderbirds of the different directions, north, south, east, and west, thank Niganashke for another day of work. As he sets, the Thunderbird of the 4 seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter, make sure Niganashke goes down at the appropriate time of the day, because the sun is always trying to rush the day. This is my family design around the outside, but instead of using the multi-colors like my Aunt Mary did, I used the 5 colors of man.
Why, that is nice. That is just beautiful.
And once again, the 5 colors of man, the yellow, brown, black, red, and white man.
Dan, I tell you what, to you and the missus, it has been a pleasure for this guy to come up here to Petoskey and to meet you and to learn more about our Native American culture. And we thank you so much for being part of Michigan Magazine, and we wish you continued success. And for all the folks out there who you don't know what you're missing until you get a chance to visit some of our Native American friends and learn more about what the Native American, Ojibwe, Chippewa, Potawatomi Indians here in our great state of Michigan are all about. Thanks again for being part of Michigan Magazine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Michigan Magazine is being brought to you in part by Remembering Good Times and Great Food. Frank and Lisa invite you to Tin Lizzie's in Mile for a blast back to the 50s and 60s when food was made from scratch, including home-ground Angus burgers. A full menu of great food and good memories await you at the new Tin Lizzie's of Mile. Clemix Sales and Service on Mapes Road, west of Mile, your complete recreational vehicle sales and service connection. Visit their beautiful showroom of new and pre-owned ATVs, lawnmowers, power equipment, snowmobiles, utility vehicles, and more. Clemix Sales and Service is also the home of the American-made Victory motorcycle line on display at Clemix on Mapes Road, Mile. Shopping for that special person just got easier when you shop at Rose City Drug at 2640 North M33, just south of the Rose City city limits. You'll find gifts for everyone on your list from 1 to 100. Shop online or in person at Rose City Drug, Rose City. Traveling Michigan's back roads and discovering the unsung heroes or untold stories in the state is a never-ending full-time occupation. We at Michigan Magazine TV have been doing it over a quarter of a century now and haven't even scratched the surface. We've filled a museum and storehouses with artifacts and unusual items of interest we've collected and filled countless archives with memories and gifts. And when we've thought we've seen it all, a new generation of heroes and secrets emerge that must be spotlighted. Michigan Magazine is not merely a TV show, but a never-ending mission of pure Michigan. On this edition of the program, we were delighted to cross paths with another television show that has a similar goal, but on a broader playing field, so to speak. And it's also aired here on RFD-TV. The program, into its 3rd season now, is called Small Town Big Deal, hosted by Southern country boy Rodney Miller and Hollywood country girl Jan Carl. As a team, they're on a mission to discover the wonderful things happening in small towns across the country. Rodney is a fairly new face to TV audiences as host and producer, but you may have caught Jan on television in varying positions, including a stint as host and reporter in a little nationally known syndicated program called Entertainment Tonight. Rodney began Small Town Big Deal a few years back, hosting solo until recently when Jan joined the team for the love of the concept. Michigan Magazine and Small Town Big Deal crossed paths first in Frankenmuth while we were in Frankenmuth doing a segment on Christmas ornament designer Curtis Posniak, and they were doing a program on Bronner's Christmas Wonderland. We were in the same building, amazing. Rodney and Jan were into day 2 in Frankenmuth, heading out the next morning to Cops and Doughnuts in Clare. After our interview with Curtis and his amazing talent, we witnessed Rodney and Jan in action at Bronner's. Eventually, we chatted a bit and planned to meet up with the crew the next day in Clare, which we did to compare notes.
You guys have one of the greatest jobs in the world. I mean, we do something similar here on a statewide level, but you had on all over the country. I mean, why in the world did you choose Michigan? What was it, some suggestion from a viewer or what?
It was, and I can't think of her name, but you're good with names. What was her name?
Oh my gosh, Marcy.
Yeah,
and we met Marcy at the in Louisville,
the National Farm Machinery Show.
Right.
Okay. We were down there filming.
And so she contacted us from this. She's like, "Oh, you need to come to Michigan, and I got story ideas."
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you had us a little stint in Michigan in your very younger years.
Yeah, very young. I was like maybe 2 or 3 until 6 years old in Lansing, and I have wonderful fond memories. Yeah. And you did a lot of business in Michigan.
Yeah, when I traveled the tractor industry, I've been all over this. I've been to this town before and was in Frankenmuth a lot. I had dealers in the area, so yeah.
But you didn't have this much fun.
No, never. We have more fun now than it's just, we do have the best job. We feel like we have the best jobs in the world.
Yeah.
Well, Rodney, you're a rural boy, a farm boy from way back. Now, you two got together just fairly recently, about a year or so ago, right?
Less than that.
Yeah, less than
We've been
that?
filming together for about 6 months now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, 6 months. You're filming your 3rd season, right? But the 2nd season is pretty much just getting underway, is it, or what? How does that work in television?
You know, it's so funny. Each market's different.
Yeah.
But for you went on the air September.
September 6th. Actually, that's the first day she contacted us too. That's the when actually the next day, September 7th.
Oh, okay.
And then we talked for 2 or 3 months, and then we got together and met, and we could tell we were going to be friends, and so we worked out a deal, and we started filming in January. And
Well, you were going solo there for a while, weren't you?
yeah.
I mean, how did this whole concept come? You know, small town, big deal come about? Tell us the story behind the
It's kind
story.
of a dream of mine that started about 8 years ago, and it kind of got tweaked a little bit, and we finally shot a pilot and got on the air last September, and we just really enjoy telling the great stories. You know, I think that's the one thing that we really share, our strongest bond, is that we both love rural America and small town America, and we love the great stories and the people in them. It's always about the people. I mean, this story today is really about these people.
Yeah.
And so we love that. We share that in common, and we genuinely have a good time everywhere we go. So.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I used to do hard news and entertainment news, and after all of that, this show is sort of reinstilling my faith in just everybody and in America and how great we are as individuals and as a nation. And I'm sure you feel the same way when you travel your great state, because you're reminded of all that's going on all the time when you're busy doing your life, all these great stories, great places, great festivals, great traditions, so much patriotism.
You know, Jan has a great way of describing our show sometimes. She says it's a love letter to America. And I think that's a really good caption. That really describes our show.
And that love is a never-ending correspondence, because the love they show and are shown in each community they visit throughout the United States spawns friendships and memories for a lifetime. And as Jan put it, restores the faith in community and humanity. Today's visit to Cops and Doughnuts in Clare was quite the experience for everyone involved. It reminded me of one big family outing that just happened to be documented with cameras and microphones. Lots of laughter, camaraderie, and inspiring talk of a promising future. It was a long day for Rodney and Jan and their crew, as it was for Greg Reinerson of Cops and Doughnuts. The hours the bakery diner opened their arms to the TV crew seemed to go as fast as a hot knife through butter. We know you'll enjoy the segments they filmed in Michigan as much as we enjoyed watching them having fun and learning about the undying spirit of the Michigander. If you'd like to view the entire interview we did with Rodney and Jan, we have it up on YouTube, and we have a link posted at michiganmagazinetv.webs.com. A big thanks to Small Town Big Deal for sharing their day with Michigan Magazine, and wish them safe travels, and to keep spreading the spirit of America off the beaten path. Cops and Doughnuts Bakery, downtown Clare. What began as a crazy idea among 9 police officers to purchase the historic Clare City Bakery quickly became an international phenomenon, carrying on a Michigan tradition with delicious donuts, pies, pastries, breads, original coffee, and more. Plus a full menu at the new adjacent Traffic Stop Diner. Downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Doughnuts. The Michigan-made rebounding mailbox pull. Never again worry about the winter snowplow taking out your mailbox with this ingenious rebounding pull. Your mailbox takes a hit and keeps coming back year after year. Call now or visit their website, toughmailboxes.com. Again, thanks for joining us for another journey down Michigan's back roads. We invite you to get up and get out and do the same. In our 25th year on the air, we're giving you a chance to make it even a little more enjoyable to do just that. We've got prizes and vacations to give away for your journey, including stays at Thunder Bay Resort and Canyons Resort. All one needs to do to be included in our sweepstakes drawing is send this week's phrase, which happens to be Cops and Doughnuts, a winning combination, to Michigan Magazine, Box 424, West Branch, Michigan 48661. Or email us at iwatchmichiganmagazine@gmail.com. That's all there is to it. You're entered. And don't forget to reserve your free tickets to the first filming of Uncle Cliff's Kitchen at the Skyline Event Center, formerly the Michigan Magazine Museum, by contacting us at the same address. Have a great week. We'll see you here next week for another edition of Michigan Magazine. We'd like to thank all those that help keep Michigan Magazine on the road. Thunder Bay Resort, a destination for all seasons with special events and packages. Thunder Bay Resort in Hillman. Cops and Doughnuts Bakery, downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Doughnuts. Rose Valley Winery on Beechwood Road in Rose City. See what thousands are raving about, creating a delicious variety of award-winning Michigan wines. Stop by and taste for yourself. The taste of Michigan is yours at Rose Valley Winery. Experience the beauty, artistry, and taste of Northern Michigan. Come to Amish Country Natural Products on Mount Tom Road, north of Mile, just off M33. From arts and crafts to fresh foods and vegetables, all natural, all local, all good. Stop by and get acquainted with Amish Country Natural Products, 1454 North Mount Tom Road, Mile. Hale Hardware, your do-it-center in Hale, Michigan. Much more than a regular hardware store, providing everything you need for whatever your project is, along with a knowledgeable sales staff to get her done. Serving Northern Michigan since 1946. Hale Hardware, south of M65 at Ainsley in Hale.